Hi guys, I'm here with Hannah Macklin, also known as MKO SUN. How are you doing today?
Good, thank you. How are you?
I can't complain. Look at this weather.
I know, it's pretty amazing.
It's Melbourne at its finest, but you're from Queensland, so you
Yep.
should be used to the sun.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a lot of sun.
Awesome.
Abundance of sun.
Nice. And you're here for a few days. You're playing with Katie Noonan at the moment, supporting her on her national tour.
Yep.
How are things going so far with that?
Good. So we've only just started, really. So we just had the first show the other night in Mornington, and second show is tonight for Melbourne Festival.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And what's Katie like to work with? Have you had much to do with her?
Yeah, like I think I met Katie about 8 years ago when I was studying, and she's been really like a good mentor. And then lately she sort of started like coming to my gigs and stuff, and has taken an interest in my music, which is really nice.
Oh, that's great. That's
Yeah.
great. And you've got an upcoming EP coming out, which is Opus Opalus.
Opus Opalus.
Opus Opalus.
Yeah.
I knew I would get the name wrong somehow. But it's how's it all tracking? It's coming out later this year.
Yeah, November 10th.
Nice. And
Yeah.
it's got Black Seaweed, which is the first single, and also your new single, which is Michiko.
Yeah, Michiko.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow, geez.
nicely done. I know
It's-
lots of words.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just sound it out. Sound it out.
Sound it out.
So with Black Seaweed, of course, it's kind of a dark track, and the video clip is also quite dark as well. And it's based on a nightmare that you had when you were about 3 years old. Can you tell us a bit about that?
Well, I wasn't 3. It was a recent nightmare.
Oh, right.
Yeah. But I was sort of like doing that classic thing in a dream where you're trapped in one spot and you can't move and you can't scream and you're just like frozen.
Yep.
And there were these 3 big sort of tree-like monsters that were coming up out of this lake, and they were descending on me and I couldn't do anything. So that was the nightmare, and then I just turned that into a song.
Okay. Is that something easily? Did that come quite fluidly to be able to change that into a song?
Yeah, it did, because I think the imagery was so strong. Like, there was just so much to write about, and there was so many, just really great visuals to describe, and then writing about it was easy, and then also like deciding what the music would sound like was really fun.
Mm-hmm. And with the video clip that accompanies it,
Yeah.
there's that kind of feel of being trapped. Is it very similar to the dream you had?
Sort of, like I guess it's an abstract take on the dream. But yeah, definitely that kind of tension and the feeling of like just something not quite right.
Mm-hmm. So would you say that that inspired the design of the video?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Great. And so you got the tour coming up. The EP, can you tell us a bit about Opus Opalus?
Yeah. So it's a 7-track EP, and Opus Opalus, the name came from the EP is dedicated to my dad, who passed away at the start of last year, and opal is his birthstone, and so opalus is the Latin word for opal.
Right.
And then opus is like a musical term for a collection of works. So it
all
kind
makes
of
sense,
just
yeah.
came together. Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
And it's a journey. Like even though it's sort of obviously quite a sad experience, but I just was conscious I didn't want it to be a sad or dark EP. So there are moments of darkness, but there's also like moments of lightness and.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Now, backing up, because you had the track Snarly, which did quite well in Queensland. It got electronic/dance song of the year at the Q Music Awards.
Yeah.
Do you take something like that as influence? You know that works, so you want to sort of incorporate some of that moving forward, or do you want to go into another direction? How do you ride something like that?
Yeah, like I don't know. I kind of don't. I don't try and. I don't know. I don't try and like plan too much, and I don't want to be very like limited in style or what I create.
Yeah.
But definitely, I know that people really responded to Snarly well, so there are elements of that which I think that I still will bring into other songs, but I don't want to get trapped into that kind of like just writing that song over and over, basically.
Yeah, no, fair
Yeah,
enough, definitely.
yeah.
So with with next year, you've got the EP coming out obviously this year. There are plans for touring, or you're looking at going overseas with it as well?
Hopefully, yeah. So I've applied for a few grants to hopefully go overseas again next year, because I started writing the EP when I was in New York at the end of last year, and made some really good connections there, and would really like to go back and work on that a little bit further. So that's a bit of that's in the works.
Great. Do you take international, sort of being in different cities. Does that sort of influence the way that you write your songs?
Yeah, definitely. Like being in New York was like a really amazing catalyst for writing. Just
And in regards to, say, New York to Queensland, where it's obviously quite different.
Yeah.
How much of it does that really sway how you write things differently?
I think so. I mean, New York's like obviously a really frantic, busy place, and there's always so much happening, and it's almost a bit chaotic. Like I feel Brisbane is a beautiful place to live, but it's really easygoing, and it can be a bit like stagnant. So just changing that up and going somewhere where there's so much life is
Great. Well, the EP comes out November 10.
Yep.
Looking forward to the release, and thank you so much for having a chat, and all the best with the tour.
Yeah, thank you. Nice to meet you.
You too.